I did some shows I went to do some shows in Ireland. Has anyone been to Ireland?
Yes. Terrible place. Terrible.
Not even a country, really. Just a country-sized, medieval-themed frat party. And I was rushing that week for the role of town Jew or kid we throw potatoes at or whatever bully thing they could come up with. Repeatedly, this happened to me. I would be walking along the street, and I wasn't walking along kind of trying to affect some kind of tough guy American bravado, not that that's a look that's available to me. But I would just be walking along, and this group of Irish guys would nudge each other as I walked by, point at me, and laugh in my face, and then lean in to whisper what I imagined was Gaelic for, look at the nerd Jew possible gay. Again, and again, and again, that kind of thing happened to me. By the way, Irish alcoholism is not a cultural stereotype. It is a socially irresponsible understatement. We need to talk more about what is happening in the streets of Ireland. Do you realize what is happening right now in the streets of Ireland? Street naps. Street napping. Just people prone on the ground like, good night to you, or whatever. I don't mean dirty homeless people. I mean regular people like you or I, just good night. And then other people walking by kind of river dancing on top of their lifeless bodies, trying to ignore the fact that they're tap dancing on somebody else's alcoholic rock bottom. I saw a man in the street. He was collapsed backwards on the sidewalk, backwards over an electrical transistor box, like asleep, just like he'd been walking along. I thought, that's a great place for a nap. Good night. Like fully collapsed like a giraffe toy with a little button on the bottom that you press and it falls down. I got concerned. I went to a police officer. I said, there's a dead man over there. He laughed at me and hit me with his baton. That didn't happen. I'm lying. This happened. This was true. I was in the middle of a show and a man in the back of the room in the middle of my show screamed out, "Next!" I thought, next? I want this guy to die. I want you to die tonight, sir. I want you to crash into a brick wall, catch on fire, and burn to death in front of your family. And when I say I thought that, I mean I screamed that into the microphone as loud as I possibly could, as 500 shocked Irish people looked up at me like, what did he say? Because that's how Irish people sound to me. What did he say? This is what their paws look like for some reason. Oh. I thought to myself, wait, okay, take stock here. Does this guy really deserve to die for what he said? Yes, for sure, definitely. For sure, death upon him. Because think about what he said. Think about how mean it was. Next. He didn't say next in order that I would go get the next guy. He didn't think I was gonna be like, were you all done with me? I'll get the next guy then. No, he just did it to hurt my feelings and make me crawl back to my hotel room and look at pornography for the rest of the evening. Which, to be perfectly fair, I was gonna do anyway, but I didn't need to be weeping while I did it. That's very bad for your hard disk. If the tears fall under the keyboard, you can wipe out your entire Bang Bus cache. It was just mean for mean's sake. And if you don't think that kind of cruelty, that kind of just random cruelty is somehow tangentially connected to the reasons that people die of genocide in this world, you are wrong. That's how it happens. That's how Hitler got started. I'm serious. He came to one of my comedy shows. He screamed out, "Kill the Jews!" and then looked around to see if anybody said anything. Nobody did, so he's like, let's definitely do this. And that's how World War II began. That's history. It's not, and the other thing is, it's not just that he was mean to me, because look, I'm just one guy. You can be mean to me, but I can't believe that level of meanness, that level isn't somehow in that guy. And he's gonna pay it forward. You know, in his blood and in his bones and in his balls is swimming a terrible poisonous DNA. And he's gonna take his terrible balls and spray his awfulness into some other bully woman's Down syndrome-y womb. And I don't know for sure that she'll have Down syndrome. Like, I think it's totally possible she'll be a regular smart girl having a bad self-esteem week. Or like maybe he'll force himself upon her. Like, I'm not positive he was a rapist based on the one-word interaction that we had. But he did sound very rape-y in that moment. So he'll take his terrible rape balls and spray it into her, and she'll squeeze out 5 other thick-browed, mealy Neanderthal bully babies to run around the country of Ireland beating up the other Jewish kids, by which I mean no one, because there are no Jews in Ireland because it's a terrible anti-Semitic country. But anyway... But then I thought a little bit more about it. I thought, okay, maybe the guy deserves to die, but I don't want to be responsible for his death. I don't want that kind of karmic weight on me. But I couldn't take it back at that point. You can't undo a Jew hex. It's very powerful magic. That's why Aslan had to die, if you're familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia. Nerd, 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 nerd. In the end, I decided, no, he's not going to die. He's not going, and I decided it from another realization of something terrible about Ireland, which was that there were no leprechauns in Ireland. No leprechauns in Ireland? They had the alcoholism. You would have thought all the cool stereotypes were there. Not one leprechaun to be found. But then I realized, wait a minute. What if I'm the leprechaun? What if that's what much of this cruelty was about? Maybe they weren't nudging each other and saying mean stuff. Maybe they were nudging each other and saying, look, it's a goddamn leprechaun. Because when you think about it, there's a lot of through lines between my people, the Jews, and the leprechaunese people. Like, think about it. They're short, little black hats, beards, always hiding their gold. Historically dishonest. Difficult to find in Ireland. Big dicks. They got big dicks.